Well, thank you, Esther. I think the main takeaways was the fact that President Biden was able to speak honestly about the history of slavery, Angola, the beginning of a new relationship between not just Angola but the African continent, based on the trade, on security, environment protection, and also on the peace. And that's something that Angolans received very well.
Florindo, can you share with us some of the highlights of President Biden's address to Angolans, as you mentioned, at that National Museum of Slavery in your country?
Absolutely. President Biden, as we all know, he likes to speak about issue openly. He talked about how important it is not to raise the past. Unfortunately, dark past on slavery. A lot of Angolans who were enslaved and shipped to the U.S., but also a new beginning of a new relationship based on mutual interests and benefit and respect, making sure the Angolans voices, Africans in general, will be heard. The change they are making, including at the UN, into making sure that there's a new beginning for the African continent. And this is something that a lot of Angolans received very well. How President Biden was able to speak openly about not just the future, but also the past between Angola and the U.S.
How significant would you say his visit was to the continent, not just Angola, but to Africa in general?
I mean, extremely significant for the continent. First, he went to Cape Verde, then he came to Angola for 2 or 3 days. And the way we see is just that the U.S. President engaged not just by making speech, but also coming, visiting, and talking to not just the Angolans, but also the President of the Democratic of Congo, President Tshisekedi, and from the President from Zambia as well. For those who understand the cultural nuances, African cultural nuances, that's important. Just like Kennedy have done in the past, basically trying to shift some of these relationship those countries have with the China and Russia, but making sure that the U.S. also is there for them and engage on a new level and on equal terms as well.
Florindo, I'm interested to know what is going to remain etched in the minds of Angolans about this visit.
Well, one of the things I think I would say, the fact that President Biden spoke openly about the past, not just the future, the present, the future, but also the start of a new beginning. A president from a most powerful country in the world visiting a country like Angola, and is really lay out the foundation of a new relationship. For the Angolans, that's important. And I think that will be something that many will be talking and will be in the textbook for years to come.